How many times did it happen to you when at the end of the interview you were sitting there with the interviewer and they said, now you have 5 to 10 more minutes to ask questions, and you actually don't know what to do? I'm going to tell you my tips for how to ask the questions at the end of the interviews, how to prepare for them, what kind of questions both impress the person who interviews you, but also are very useful for you to understand whether you want to work there or not. And as a bonus, I'm also going to share my single best advice on how to prepare for any kind of interview process that works for any kind of role and that really helps you to make a good impression on the person who interviews you. So tune in and let's get started. The best thing you can do for yourself and for the interviewer to understand that you're interested in the job is to get yourself excited and start caring about this opportunity. I know it's really hard sometimes if you're not very much into the product that the company is building, or if you don't want to raise your expectations and don't feel too sad if you don't get the job. Being authentically or genuinely excited about the role and the people that you're going to meet really helps to set the interview in the better mood. The person that will interview you see that you care, and they will also try to care a bit more and try to give you suggestions or hints for the questions and try to give you the most comprehensive and full explanation of what they're working on, what their projects are, what the company culture is, and so on. It's really important that you try not to act excited, but to actually get excited about the role. There are a few ways to do that, even though you might be not right away excited about the opportunity. The first one and the easiest one is to do the research. So you should go pretty much on Google or whatever search engine is the best suitable for this in your country, in your local language. You should go to Google, you should check out the company, their values, the projects they're working on, the projects that actually touch your field, so something that you would really work with. You can do that by just going into the company page. A lot of companies right now have blogs where they talk about marketing, technical side, data science, analytics, how they build stuff, how they promote stuff, how they understand what's happening to the company. So you can, for example, search for their blogs. Maybe it will be on their own company website, maybe it will be on Medium. I usually find those Medium blogs are quite interesting and quite detailed, so I get a lot of very interesting insights from there. Maybe there will be something that catches my attention and I will start digging deeper, start reading articles. Maybe I'll find the person who wrote the article on LinkedIn and check whether there's something that gets me excited about them. The second part that you can really get excited about is company culture. Right now, it's even more important to have a good company culture, to have good company values, to hire people that align with those values and that align with the motives and missions of the company. So you can really find some company that relates and corresponds to your own values. If you care about the environment, you might work in some company like Patagonia that really cares about the environment and tries to work with only sustainable products and sustainable suppliers. So even maybe if you don't care about specifically the product that they're making, you would really feel good about supporting the cause that they're trying to support. That could be also something you can talk about with a recruiter when they ask you, why do you want to work in this company? And the third way to get excited about your potential role in the company is to find a person that works in the company, maybe with a similar role, maybe not. Just talk to them, ask them what they like about the company, ask them what they're interested in, what excites them, and based on that, maybe there will be something that inspires you too. After you've done all the research, after you got yourself excited and dug a little bit deeper into the company, their values, the projects, it's time to actually go to the interviews and ask those questions. So the first and the most important point is that nobody knows except you what you really care about during this process. If you find on Google or YouTube those lists like these are the 10 things that you should definitely ask during the interview process, you can just disregard that and disregard the rest of this video and ask only certain things that you really care about. But if you feel like you don't really know what areas to touch, I'm gonna explain 3 areas that I usually like to touch during the interviews. And the first one is projects and potential future developments of the company. This one requires you to do a little bit of research on the current product of the company, various things that they might introduce, maybe some new features that they tested, and talk hypothetically about how would you like to improve it, ask questions around what are the next steps, what are the opportunities for growth, what are the interests of the company, what kind of metrics they're trying to achieve, what kind of other products that they're working on to expand their product portfolio. At least they will see that you found out about their product, found out about the things that they're working on, and that you're genuinely interested in it. The second area that I really like to touch is personal growth and professional development. People who care about how they can grow in in the company and how they can help maybe others to grow. Maybe they can mentor someone, maybe they are interested in what is the community around their technical skills. So what kind of workshops are there? Is there someone who's driving this? Can they be the person who's driving it? Is really good indicator that they are genuinely interested in staying there and actually growing with the company. And also for you, it gives a really good idea if the company cares about their employees, if they're building development programs, if they're building opportunities, or if they're even open for opportunities for you to grow in different roles and different directions. So you can ask questions around this area. When it comes to the personal development and professional development, also really good idea if you're talking to a potential manager to discuss what is the performance evaluation process, whether you will have KPIs that are attached to your growth that you will need to fulfill, who defines those KPIs, if it can be you or if it's going to be your manager. Are there KPIs for the team? Are they KPIs for the department? Questions around how you will be evaluated help you to understand how you're going to get your promotions or salary raises and what does it depend on, how much ownership do you have around this process. So this is also something that I find really important for myself. And the third area that I really like to talk about is company culture and company values. Here, it's really important, especially if you have certain values that are non-negotiable for you, to kind of make sure that you align with the people who work in the company on those values. You can ask questions around how those values are represented in the company, especially if you got a list of those company values from the recruiter or you've been asked questions about them. You should ask for very specific examples of how do you think this value is represented in the company, and also maybe ask questions on how people are challenged. Being aligned on the company values really helps you to understand whether you want to work there, whether you're interested in the role, whether you will feel comfortable. So I really advise strongly towards asking questions about that. And now to the less positive part. So there are also certain questions that are best not to be asked. It's not a list of specific questions, but it's kind of certain areas and types of questions that are genuinely not appreciated. And the first and the biggest one is to ask questions that you can find answers for on the first page of Google. And you wouldn't believe how often that happens, how often people come actually unprepared for the interview, not really knowing what the product is, or not even trying to understand what the product does, just kind of going there and expecting that to be explained to you. This is like you shoot yourself in your own foot. Just don't do it. Just really prepare. Find the very basic things about the company, like their product, their challenges, the competitors, what's the growth, basic information that you can find on Google, if you read news, if you read articles, if you read press reviews from the website of the company. Other type of questions is a little bit tricky, and I would expect you wouldn't want to ask those questions, but something that really touches very confidential information that can be disclosed by the employees, especially during like technical cases and interviews that really dig deep into the product. Can be something that seems like a little red flag when you ask very specific questions about certain numbers. Of course, most likely you're going to sign an NDA, so non-disclosure agreement. It's best to still stay aware of those questions and not try to dig too deep into confidential information, not only because it is, well, confidential information, but also because it makes the interview uncomfortable for the person who interviews you, because they have to really think about every single word they say and try to filter what they say. They don't always know what exactly is non-disclosed and what exactly could be disclosed. So just try to make it easy for the person who interviews you. Don't be very specific on the confidential information. And this certain area of questions that shouldn't be asked is also true for the person who interviews you. So that's the questions around protected characteristics for people. That can be gender, age, marital status, having kids or not having kids, certain other life situations, religion, race, and so on. There are lists of those like areas that are protected on internet that you can find, so you know what kind of personal questions is better not to touch. It's always good a little bit to go into some personal information when you're talking in interviews, but that should be kind of covering more work areas rather than personal areas. So you can ask personal questions about what makes people excited when they work in the company, what do they personally really care about working in this company, but try to avoid any questions that come from the protected characteristics area. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you had some really interesting questions that you've been asked or that you asked to during the interview process. And if you liked the video, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to release more videos every week about career progression and growth. So hope you have a nice day and good luck at your next interview.